Hey SRL! Today we're going to talk about one of the most essential tools for any aspiring videographer, filmmaker, or broadcast journalist: light. Why is light important? Well, for one thing, your camera can't capture much without it. Even with good quality lenses and fancy cameras, you can't capture moving images without some type of steady light source. So here are the 5 things that you need to know about light. Number 1, you need it. Light is necessary for filming, period. Light is how the camera deciphers crisp images from shadows and shapes, and is essential for good video. Good light is the biggest difference between grainy amateur video and high-quality professional video. Every person, thing, and location needs light. So when you go to film your interview or your B-roll, take a moment to figure out where your light source is and how you can harness it. Number 2, light comes in temperatures. Light is a form of energy that travels in temperatures. The kind of light an object emits depends on its temperature. For example, a candle burns at a low temperature and energy, emitting red light, whereas a blowtorch burns at a very high temperature and energy and emits blue light. The average temperature of daylight is 5600 Kelvin, and the average temperature of a tungsten light bulb is 3200 Kelvin. Color temperatures over 5000 Kelvin are called cool colors because they appear bluish-white to the eye, while color temperatures lower than 3000 Kelvin are called warm colors and appear yellowish-orange to the eye. Now, light in the real world can vary tremendously based on the weather, the time of day, your geographic location, and the types of light bulbs. This is why when you film, you need to use your white balance to tell your camera what is true white. While our eyes are constantly adjusting to tell our brains what is white, our cameras don't have that automatic ability, unless you tell them to auto white balance. Your DSLRs have settings for white balance that will drastically help your camera know what is truly white. Because of these different light temperatures, it's a good idea to film video under one consistent light source. When you have mixed light in one scene, the camera can't accurately adapt for the 2 sources of light. You should white balance your camera every time you change light settings. That brings me to number 3, how to deal with the contrast ratio of light. In order to properly expose your shot, both your subject and your background need light. But if your background is too bright, then your interview subject will be backlit, meaning that the background is brighter than their faces. One way to avoid this situation is to shoot shade to shade. Put your interview subject in the shade and make sure that there's shade behind them. Number 4, modify your light to fit your needs. The great thing about light is that you can control it most of the time. Direct light can sometimes be too harsh and cast dramatic shadows. But you can diffuse your light with an umbrella, a white gel, a sheet, or a bounce board. You can use that same bounce board to direct light onto a subject that needs it. This can make all the difference if you're shooting outside. If you don't have a bounce board, you can use a white foam board or a cardboard covered in aluminum foil, or even a white t-shirt. If you have access to a light kit, you can use the barn doors on the sides of your lights to beam the light in a direction you want it. If this still doesn't work, don't be afraid to pick up the light and move it closer or farther away from your subject. One big no-no: always try your best not to use overhead fluorescent lighting. It can cast shadows on a person's face and make them look unflattering. It's kind of like that effect you get from shining a flashlight under your face. So what is the best way to light your subject? That brings us to number 5, 3-point lighting. 3-point lighting is the standard way to light a subject. If you look at how I'm lit right now, you can see in our wide shot that we're using 3-point lighting. There's a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. Now let me turn off all these lights to show you what each one does individually. Your primary light is called the key light, and it should be your brightest light, or the one that's going to do the most work. You can use the sun as your key light if you're shooting outside, or a bright softbox from your light kit. The second light is the fill light, which gets rid of the shadows on your face. And the third light is known as the backlight, or hair light, which we use to make the edges of your subject stand out from your background. So let's review. Backlight, fill light, and key light. There you go. These are the things that you've got to know about light. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys employ some of these tricks in your future videos.